Bad react.
Bad react.
Bad react. Bad react. Bad react.
Bad react. Hitting that play button. YouTube Sensei, the place to be. Chill, Mr. Andy back with some more fan react. So I appreciate you guys supporting all my reactions I'm doing for 2K25, and you know me, I love doing reactions over here when it comes to the new stuff. So make sure you guys subscribe for all the more reaction stuff like that. But we finally got, because when we got all that stuff on February 5th, and we got a lot of teasers for things that's coming up, and we got some gameplay footage. Now we're going to get a whole breakdown. IGN got an exclusive all breakdown of the NXT Underground match. So I was curious. Everybody wasn't allowed to talk about it because there was an embargo for it, and they waited to the end of the week to talk about it. So they put up a whole video for it, and I'm like, well, instead of me trying to watch it and break it down and what I see, I'm just going to react to it, and then we can learn as we watch. So I hope you guys can sit here and join me and watch with me. So we're going to check this video out from IGN when it comes to the Underground match in 2K25. So, if you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe button, make sure to like button. We do reactions, pop culture, and wrestling on this channel. Wrestling Pop Culture Podcast on the weekends, and do a lot of 2K. It's a 2K season, so we do a lot of 2K25 coverage and breakdown, stuff like that. So, make sure you subscribe for all that if that interests you. Now, let's check this thing out. Let's learn more about the Underground match in 2K25, because I'm mad curious. I want to see how these things work. And they're going to break it down. We're going to break it down here. All right. Hitting that play button.
Setting them up for the Falcon Arrow.
So we have Rhea Ripley taking on Roman Reigns, looks like.
WWE Underground, Mommy's home.
Hey, it's Dale here from IGN, and I'm joined by Derek from Visual Concepts. Derek, how you doing?
Doing great.
We have got something very exciting today. So we're going to be checking out a full match. We're actually going to be playing against each other. Full match of the new Underground mode in WWE 2K25. Obviously, you're playing as Rhea Ripley today. We'll see who I'm playing as. What's the background? How come you chose Underground mode for this year?
Underground is a match type that's gained some more recent prominence in NXT. And we always want to try and choose a match type that's going to really have some different combat in it. And Underground with no ropes on the ring poses a bunch of different questions about, like, how is the match going to work? What's going to happen when you interact at the side of the ring? How are we going to handle all the people standing around at ringside? So we saw those as pretty fun challenges, as well as just the visual look of the match. When you watch an Underground match in WWE programming, the lights are darker. You get this really cool entrance presentation at the beginning. And so we just thought this would be a really cool visual and something that is a nice change of pace from your standard matches.
Okay. So it looks like you can have the Underground in any of the arenas.
I suspect there was a lot of complications when it came to designing this mode. I imagine that was your first hurdle.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we still had the specific superstar entrances, like you're seeing with Rhea and Roman, and have it kind of seamlessly transition into the motions that allow them to enter the ring without the ropes. And there's also just a different presentation in terms of how the match is announced that we'll see in a bit, with them standing in the ring together with the ring announcer.
Also the lighting as well. So obviously we've seen Underground matches recently in NXT as well, and the idea is it's almost like Fight Club-esque. Yes. It's low lights. Yes. It's down and dirty.
Yeah. And we wanted to capture that. And another big challenge was, and I guess we're demonstrating it here, is Underground matches tend to be in smaller arenas, right? Especially with NXT. But we want to provide for customization for the players. So you can take an Underground match all the way to WrestleMania, for example, but we still want the arena to have those special cases where it's a special dark lighting, where the ring mat is black instead of what color it was before. So that's something that comes along with the match type when you take it into any arena.
Okay.
So obviously here we're seeing some of the unique presentation for the match.
Absolutely. We always love an opportunity to really introduce the match when it has unique rules like this, utilizing the rules card like they do in programming. And I love the way that this introduction has turned out. We get to kind of have a stare down, as well as kind of acknowledging the crowd as they're called out by the ring announcer.
Or submission. Introducing first, from Adelaide, Australia, the WWE Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley.
So we see all these nondescript people around the ring, although that one looks a little bit like Jamie Noble in the background.
It's interesting hearing who people see in the faces of this ringside.
Did you ever consider like using other wrestlers there? Or?
No, yeah, we didn't want them to necessarily be other wrestlers because the point is that it's more like the Fight Club feel, where it's the people kind of closely around the match, where you have this kind of claustrophobic feeling of no escape from your opponent. But of course, there is escape, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, what were the complications in implementing like the lumberjack system?
Oh well, we've never had this many characters in a match before, right? So it was a huge challenge to figure out like what style of character we're going to be able to support, how many we could have around the ring, and as we'll see in a moment, they're not totally tied to the edge of the ring. They're going to move around based on what we do. And that was a huge amount of effort, is figuring out the right behavior of them moving and not being too distracting, but also staying close. Yeah. And I think we landed in a really good spot, especially with the ability for them to kind of go transparent in the case that we get too close to the crowds.
Yeah. So how long had you been conceiving having Underground as a match type?
We'd had our eye on it pretty much since WWE started introducing the match type. It dates back to, I think it was Raw Underground a while back. It's one of the challenges has been knowing like how are we going to handle the ring combat, and so it was talked about for many years in a row, but it was never prioritized. And last year we just realized like now's the time to do it, especially now that the bring it back. Yeah. And I think we have the tools, we have the technology now to try and handle something like this.
Was there any particular hurdles in building this mode that like the average person might not consider?
Absolutely. I mean, one is just having to redo how combat works at the edge of the ring. Yeah. Right. This brand new teeter state where people are kind of maybe falling off, maybe not falling off. Yeah. It was an opportunity for us to add a lot of moves that we've seen happen in games, but not had the easiest way of implementing. For example, a running spear or attempted spear right off of the apron. Yeah. It was a really cool moment.
I've got to say, there's immense satisfaction when I managed to pull that on you, somebody who I imagine has played this game quite a few times.
Yeah, all right, I'll turn it on now that you mention it.
You're like, I was playing nice, but now here we go.
Their opponent and tossing their opponent like they're nothing. So I'll just leave it at this. Nobody comes into a match
can we do one dive still? Like that's one that I'm concerned about.
Obviously, there's a lot of wrestlers that are high flyers and they use the ropes, they climb the ropes. This has a significant impact to their movesets in particular. How does it affect them?
Right, so access to the ropes in the corner is obviously not there. So a character who had a lot of moves relying on the ropes in the corner is going to have to be creative about how they're going to approach the match. We also have fallback moveset slots, alternate moveset slots for the core moves, those signatures and finishers that you normally would rely on in the case that, similar to like brawl environments where there's no ring, we have alternate moves for your character to perform. So you're never going to be without a signature or finisher, but maybe you're going to have to utilize a move that you're not used to. You still are going to have access to it. I can actually pause and show the example.
Sure.
So we have a move screen that shows all your characters' moves. And if you look down here, we see what your ringside and underground assignments are. Yeah. So for Rhea Ripley, I actually have access to a lot of the same moves. Roman Reigns doesn't have the drive-by dropkick, right, because it utilizes the corner, but you still have the Superman punch available to you. So we make sure still that everybody has a core set of signatures and finishers so they can use to finish matches.
And how do you finish matches in the Underground mode?
Good question. So Underground is not a standard match type. Pinfalls don't exist. So we have submission and knockout as the two main ways to win. There's also no countouts. Yeah. So submission is classic submission, but we do have a new submission game available this year. And knockouts has received a total revamp. There's this danger state that you can see. And actually we're about to witness it. I went for a submission instead. So getting hit with a finisher while you're in the danger state is going to, so the triggers are going to control this is the new submission system. So left and right trigger moves you.
I see. I see.
Escape. But because of the amount of damage I had applied, right, it was going to be very challenging for you to escape with a slider submission. So submission is one example, or when you're in that danger state, a finisher will finish you off unless you can reverse and escape the danger state.
Earning a big win here.
Okay, so having that danger there, like I said, I know my camera's blocking it right now, but they have a danger thing at the
So that was a resounding victory for
On the
you here,
bar.
but we're going to play another game here just to make sure we see everything that this mode has to offer, or this match type has to offer. I see you straight back into destroying me again, so I really appreciate that.
Things off. I think one thing I think is worth checking out is the barricade dives. As you know, without the ropes, it's pretty easy to get to ringside in this match type.
Sure.
Which means it's easy to set up a barricade dive.
All right, let's throw you out there and then let's try
go for
it. I'm sure you might reverse it. Oh no, here we go. Okay.
So go ahead and there's a nice ledge dive, and then try climbing that barricade, same way that you normally would. And you can walk along the barricade, dive off of it.
I gotta say, it's very Roman Reigns.
Yes. Roman's got to keep his balance.
Oh, okay, good. And then that's nice.
So dive right off it. So you have standing and grounded dives as well. Yeah.
So there's still weapons under the ring.
There are still weapons. Yeah, you're free to grab them. Though no, this is a DQ match type, so the referee won't be particularly happy if you hit somebody with a weapon.
Should probably put it down then. I don't want to get disqualified. What about the ring posts as well? Are they utilised?
Great point. Yeah, the ring posts and the edge of the ring have all new interactions. So we've seen this teeter state, right, where you can attack me and get brand new animations. And the ring posts as well have special interactions. If you drag or carry or Irish whip your opponent to the ring post, you can slam them into it. So here's an example, a nice ring post attack.
I like that.
Which sets you up perfectly to go for a ringside dive, of course.
Lovely.
Outside, big time risk pays off.
The daredevil in you comes out when you take risks like that.
Setting up for something here.
We have a new interaction for throwing somebody up onto a ledge. So you have more ability to take your opponent where you want to. And that's not just for underground matches. This extends to brawl environments as well.
What would you say, I know we've spoke about some challenges already, but what was the biggest challenge, the thing that struck the fear in you when you first conceived about having this match type?
Well, ledges have always been a pretty big challenge for the game, and knowing that we wouldn't want to shy away from it. We didn't want to implement a version of this match that doesn't really avoids the issue and just kind of utilizes invisible walls. We wanted to really lean into it, and so I was worried about how this feature would come out, and I couldn't
Yikes!
deal with it. I find delight every single time somebody falls off a ledge.
I've got to say, it feels extremely smooth getting in and out of the ring as well.
Yeah.
Like there's no.
And I mean that also just bleeds into the characters at ringside, right? Like there's so much potential for chaos, but I think the way that they've landed is really nice, where you get the feel of the crowd surrounding the ring, the hype of having people standing right over you, but they're not constantly getting in the way, and they don't interfere with the match in the way they shouldn't.
Right. Well, I think maybe we should let the audio play out for a bit, and let's just keep this match going and see who wins. Probably you.
All right. So right now it looks like I like the animation that you can go and really pounce them off or spear them off or even suplex them off the ring. I like that, and diving off. And I like them, throwing them into the turnbuckle post.
Oh, maybe not.
I like all that stuff.
No muss.
I was fearful. At least what they're saying, I was fearful that it was going to try to make this play like UFC, and I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. I thought he was going to try to make it like a combat style type thing. And I was like, no, I'm glad we can just still be, regular wrestling. I want to update that Riptide. I want to update the Riptide. Please have a new version of Riptide again.
Obviously, this is the first time you've used the underground match type. Is there anything you didn't get to achieve that maybe you can see another iteration down the line, so where you'd like to go further with the mode?
Absolutely. So as with every time we implement a new match type, we have to pick and choose where we're going to put our effort into the year. We definitely have thought about, could Underground support more than 2 characters, right? I would love to see what a triple threat or a fatal 4-way Underground match would look like. Special guest referee is another example, right? We have special guest referee in many match types. We don't have it in Underground, but I could totally see us getting to that point.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great new foundation as well.
Oh, I thought I had you then. I was ready to line up for the Superman punch.
I never match, but
let's go back and forth here.
Yeah.
Look at this, just unloading. And a stop to the...
So obviously we're seeing a bit of intergender gameplay as well. This is first for the 2K series?
It is, yeah. It's, we're really happy when we got the green light to go ahead with this. This is something I've always wanted to see in the game. I think it just completely opens up your roster and the kind of matchups you can create. As well as, there are many wrestlers in the roster who've participated in intergender wrestling before coming to WWE.
Sure,
And so it's a way that you can kind of celebrate their
I like
history in
that
wrestling
bit
as
too.
well.
That was
so
nice.
being able to
That was
represent
unique.
that in the game has been a delight.
I just thought you just wiped out two of the lumberjacks there as well.
Yes.
I didn't realise that you could do that.
You got to watch it when you're at the edge of the ring.
Kick to the back. Action now right here in front of us.
Guys, we may need to move soon.
Carrying off the announce table. This
Can't DQ, but there's nothing to stop you putting me through a table.
Announce table. I was just doing a move, and the table happened to be there. I wasn't utilizing the table against you. That would be ridiculous.
Feels like you're going to put me through it potentially. If I
I don't have a finisher, but I can at least. Oh, but you do. I've set you up for a good announce table finisher.
Hey, there we go.
Oh,
this is the
Rock
moral
says.
victory, even if I
Sure it
lose.
is. Yeah. So now I'm in that danger state that we talked about.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
The
there's
next
the danger
finisher
state.
or
Y'all see it?
powerful move will knock me out. But if I
okay.
can pull off a reversal, and reversals are harder when I'm in the danger state, then I'll be able to get out of this position.
And finishes have to take place in the ring. Is that the case?
For knockouts, it doesn't matter where it is.
Okay.
So you could pull off that move anywhere. So yeah, the reversal windows are definitely harder when I'm in this position.
I'm feeling
Yeah.
quite confident right now, but I know that's going to famous last
There we
words.
go.
See
Oh, but you reversed.
I've just got to get to that Superman punch, I think, and then
Yeah.
I'm feeling confident right now.
That's good. And signatures leading into finishers is a good combo for that.
Disdain for his opponent. On jelly legs, about to stumble head first into danger. Goodness, counters
Where's
into a
that?
brutal cutting blow.
Kamagoye.
Kick to the gut.
Cranked around into a neck breaker.
So outside of the underground match type, what's your other favourite addition to WWE 2K25?
Oh man, I'm really excited to bring special guest referee to so many new match types. Tag team matches, Hell in a Cell. Bloodline Rules is our other brand new match type this year. Is just chaotic, hilarious fun. I never get tired of playing a Bloodline Rules match.
Yeah.
And the third-person camera is something that we can show off for a one or solo play, right? When there's only one person playing at a time. It's really cool to be able to control the camera and look any direction you want, and really just kind of direct the wrestling combat.
Well, congratulations. As expected, you really, but I'm still taking that moral victory of putting you through the table.
That was a
so-
great spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for explaining a bit about the underground match type. It's been fascinating. I can't wait to get more time in it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Such an incredible display
Yeah, I like
of
that.
technical prowess in this underground match. Blistering strikes, contorting holds, and
All right, so that was the underground match, and I have to say, all right, so I'm liking the mechanics that's going on. With I was, like I said, I was worried that was going to be like a UFC type thing, but I'm glad it's not. And then we got I like the animation you got. You can just so it's like this, it's different. So like my first underground match will most likely be RVD and Ken Shamrock. I'm telling you that right now. Please do not take Ken Shamrock out this game. But anyway, post your comments down below. How you guys feel about Underground? Would you wish you had seen something else? Are you interested in playing it? How you guys feel about it? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my reaction. Hit the subscribe button for more reactions and more W2K25 news and breakdowns right here on NC Studios. Once again, it's NC the place to be. Showtime Insanity, and the Fan React is out.